We love when things work right out of the gate. We love when that happens. We love when stuff actually bothers to work. No weird lag with the fact that I have to run the game in Discord and screen sharing in Discord and all that at the same time. We're just in. No shenanigans with the stream being like, did I start? Did I not? I don't know. I don't know if I did. We're just in. We're just in. And look at that. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm not stuck in a cave the entire time anymore. I actually found Dudunsparce outside! Ain't that just an amazing thing you can do? Put it by and get a second counter on my end. Because if I remember how outbreaks work, is that if I want to get the best shiny odds, I need to have at least 60 KOs from the outbreak itself in order for this to work. There is one problem with this. I reset for about an hour or so trying to get a Dudunsparce mass outbreak. I did get one in Kitakami, but it was in a small cave, so I get like 6 spawns, that's it. Here, I'm outside, more freedom to move. But there's other normal types around here. So I have to hope it doesn't cause enough of an issue. I also have to worry about Tauros being around here and being a jerk, being like, I'm gonna get you! He's so mean. He's so mean. Of course, until we get the 60 total. If Annihilate would actually do something. Hello? Annihilate, for the love of God. Please. Look, man. It's the reason I don't do this kind of shiny hunt too often. It's because the game doesn't like to cooperate. Hello? Annihilate! For Christ's sake! I'm going to enter my boxes. Because Annihilate's getting freaking retired. I have a Varoom in here somewhere. For just such an occasion. And I forgot where I put the damn thing. There you are. You sit in the back. You sit in the back and rethink stuff. We'll try again later with you. Okay. Now you should be okay because you're fast and okay, like why are there no Dudunsparce? Already have a better start. Mostly. Are you gone or are you not? I should have just done this before stream. I really should have. Because this doesn't want to cooperate. No, I mean, this ain't the best spot for one either. But it is better than doing it in a cave again. Where it's the same freaking loops over and over again. And it's better than the last time I did an Outbreak version of this. Where I was just unable to really see half of the spawns because it was multi-layered. This at least seems to be like mostly one layer, I suppose. So once we get to about 60, I'll give us the max odds without a sandwich. Okay, Varoom, You go do that. You spin circles around that Dudunsparce. Have fun. Once we get to 60, we make ourselves a sandwich. Hope we don't end up seeing too many Quinkalones. And then, buddy, look, okay. You wonder why I don't do this very often. You wonder why I just go with the sandwich in the Area Zero stuff, you know? Don't start with me, Varun. You're off to a good start. Don't mess with me like this, man. Six. Number of Dudunsparce in the outbreak is starting to go down. You can normally kind of judge it from the numbers there, but it's not super consistent. Like, we have now hit 30. That message could pop up within like a 10 KO range. The same is true for the really starting to go down message. So it's better to actually have a full-on counter, so you can track it yourself. Okay. I'm assuming you hit another one back. Hi, I understand. Waste my time some more, why don't you? Because this game is so... Screw you! I don't care! I am very angry! I'm an angry man! Destroy! Oh. Gyro Ball sucks ass. Fine then. Get out of here. Get out of here. So, just gonna get all these Tauros out of the way because they're being a jerk. I thought you were all gone! Well, fine. If you want to be like that. Get out of here! Skiddo might be an issue too. I did not see a Skiddo until now. Why are you going over there? Now the manlet's hard to get the Dudunsparce again. Despite the fact that all the Dudunsparce were closer to it, it went all the way over there. Love of God. Luckily, because they're in this kind of confined area, should be fairly easy to spot all of the spawns. Granted, it will be a small area. It's going to be kind of a lot of the same again and again. But it's still different than normal, so it's a victory. 45. 46. How you guys doing? I'm struggling with Dudunsparce. It's either this or going into Area Zero again. Because they don't make getting 3 segments very easy. Violet, everybody! Pokemon Violet, everybody. Definitely getting lower. We're just now getting 55. Both these for good measure. There we go, we're done. We're done. Baroom, I swear to God! Fine, I'll go over here and do all of these then. Because my, oh, we're done, it's called for, I'm gonna just sit here and let the enemy's on the way. You're out too. Get out of here. You know who we haven't seen in a long time? Someone I remember being able to depend upon. Robo Santa! Oh, hang on. Move the box back. Menu? Okay. Pokemon Violet, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. With that done, that took all 10 minutes. Okay, looking for a quick second, make sure I'm not despawning anything when I make it a picnic. Because you never know. The game could do some shenanigans like that. And hope for the best. Now, we're making a normal sandwich, so we're going to be seeing Dudunsparce, as well as Skiddo and Deerling. And the occasional oil and cologne. So, we may see other shinies in this, but hey, it's other Pokemon besides Dudunsparce, so, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Also, I don't have some of them. I don't have some of the shinies, so kinda worth it. We'll stock tofu from last time. And 2 salties. There we go. Good start. Good start. Now, unlike how I normally do this, where I'm going to save, and then if I don't get one during a sandwich, I reset. I'm just going to tank it. We're going to be using 6 total Herba Mystica today. Doing 3 sandwiches. There's no backing out of it. Because I probably won't even notice that my sandwiches run out half the time. So, there's going to be some time where I'm not using the sandwich boost anyway. And I'm still getting plenty of boost from the outbreak spawns. So, you know, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe it won't be so bad. And of course, that maybe is a little bit of a stretch, let's be honest. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This will also probably be the last Dudunsparce stream for a while. Because, I think next time we're going to be doing something a little different. Oh, no. Young Goose spawn here, too? Oh, Dudunsparce is screwed. Oh, God. There's so many non-Dudunsparce normal types around here. Oh, God. Outbreaks to actually be of decent size, and then it's like, nope. Just around this tree and not even all the way around. I'm better off doing picnic resets. Oh, this is a mistake. I guess we're going back into areas here after the sandwich after all. I'm gonna use a sandwich. I want to at least get one shiny from the outbreak to say I did it. God, I'm not doing this again. Look how there's nothing spawning now. What the hell? Mass outbreaks is a major letdown in this game. I swear to God. I still don't get how spawning shit works. You can't see a radius of the outbreaks. You don't know what the limits are. And the game likes to pull random bullshit. This was a mistake. I figured, oh, we'll do it out here and all that. Figuring, oh, it'll be fine enough. It was not fine enough. It really wasn't. Ugh. Yeah. Once we get a shiny here, regardless of if my sandwich is done or not, I'm just moving to Area 0. This change of pace was a big mistake. There's a reason why Area 0 is the big pick for this. The only way we can isolate these damn things in any realistic measure. Problem is you're not getting the full boost because outbreaks can't spawn in Area 0, and you don't get the full shiny boost of 1 in 512 unless you use an outbreak. Look how unreliable this is. Where are all the spawns for it? There's like 3 spawns for it, and then we get a bunch of random crap. I have no control over where the outbreaks go. I can reset the game to brute force them, but like, that only does so much. I don't know what you want from me, game. Anything spawning down here? I figure not. An absolute failure of an outbreak. Just as much of a failure as the stupid cave, where it's like, oh, this is a cave that has an item in it. Meaning it's like one tiny ass room with nothing. Here's like 5 spawns. Ever. Goodbye. What an absolute disaster. What an absolute disaster. Fucking Cyclozar too? Kidding me? Cyclozar could spawn out here? I thought it could only spawn on the complete other side of the region. What's it doing over here? Oh, but it's a normal type. You use a normal sandwich. I get that, but I use a normal sandwich. I'm not seeing a bunch of Eevee. Because Eevee doesn't spawn over here normally. I don't know what Cyclozar did. Ugh. I wonder. Could I do picnic resets from here and have it work? I wish the music wouldn't cut out when I do this. Like, it is very quiet right now. It puts in normal volume when it's locked, but then I can move. I don't like that. why are they not spawning anymore? Just sit back here like this and be blocked by a damn tree? These all the spawns I fucking get? What a mess. What a mess. What a great start. What a good use of my time. Resetting for an hour or so to get a stupid outbreak. 2, actually. And this is what I'm reduced to. Look at this. As if nothing's changed in that fucking cave. I only had 6 goddamn spawns. So I don't understand the spawning algorithm fucking works. Oh, you can do pigment resets. They spawn all around you like it's nothing. And then suddenly, like, nope. Here's like half the spawns you normally get from just moving around. Just move. No picnic resets. Picnic resets are stupid. Lied to again. Mm-hmm. Of course the dealing of spawns has to be in that fucking camouflages here, because God forbid we have an easy time moving around the damn area. Yay! If I miss out on a shiny Meowth, I don't give a shit. Look at all these spawns. All these spawns from Mass Outbreak. All 3 spawns from the Outbreak, and all this shit from way over there. Has nothing to do with it. Chopped up the sandwich. You know what? Screw it. Screw the Outbreak. This ain't fun. To be for shiny hunting in general. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Shiny hunting in general is just kind of not fun. The only fun part about it is that you see it sparkle and then you're like, ooh! Everything revolving around actually getting the damn things? Not fun. Because I swear to God, the game's not built for it. The game's not freaking built for it, dude. I don't know why I bothered. There's a reason I don't do Dudunsparce stuff too often. I wanted to do more now. See if I can maybe get it and then just be done with it. Right? Instead of having to go back and forth between it for the next few months. So far, the answer is I'm probably not going to get it during this stream. And then we won't see it again for another, like, 3 months. Well, I guess maybe that depends on what happens next week. Once again, there's no Nintendo Direct. There's no Nintendo Direct this week. Nintendo is posting about games on their Twitter. So if they're doing promotional tweets. Most recently being Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Which, cool. My half-brother would probably like that. I did play one of the Tony Hawks on Game Boy Advance. I did play one of those. But I'll admit I wasn't very good at it, and it's a Game Boy Advance, so 3D really wasn't a great thing on it. Like, it could do it technically, but like, not really. So I don't know. You probably wouldn't see me playing that much on stream if I got it anyway. So yeah, no Nintendo Direct this week. People keep talking like, oh, we're gonna get one this month for sure, despite the fact that we said that last month and nothing happened. So I don't freaking know. It's freaking stupid, I tell you. So, maybe we'll see a direct next week. Maybe we will, and it messes the stream schedule up again, and then we do one final stream of Dudunsparce. You know? Because, like, I've done it before. But I really don't like starting a new game midway through our stream schedule, you know? We have a Thursday and a Friday on most cases. Special things like directs or one-year archipelagos and that bumps it up a little bit. Kind of mess up the schedule enough to be a bit different. Of course. But generally, we run on a Thursday-Friday basis. Whether or not that changes in the future on a more permanent scale, I don't know. Right now, Thursday and Friday. So, usually, if I finish a game on Thursday, I don't like starting a new game on Friday unless I know it can be a one-off. Like, if I'm playing a if I finish up a game on Thursday, like, I can realistically play through a Mega Man game in one stream. Like, I can load up Mega Man 10 probably and beat that in one go, you know? To beat Mega Man 9 in one go, I think that was a 2 or 3 hour stream. One typical stream length for Mega Man. So, I could do that. And then Dudunsparce, because there's no concrete ending to it until we actually get the thing, it could kind of just show up whenever it's more of like a casual filler thing while I decide what to do next time. Because I don't like starting a new game on Friday, and then I haven't played it for that long, and now I have to wait roughly a week before I can play it again. And then, whoa, there comes the rest of a game I've barely played, so I might as well never started playing it. It's that kind of mindset, you know? It's like, yeah, I've had it, so like, you've seen it where, like, after like a week of not playing, I struggle to get back into it. If I haven't been playing the game for that long anyway, a little harder. Plus, I feel like it makes more sense to not just do one stream and then not follow up on it immediately after the following day, you know? It feels weird to me. You're just making stupid excuses and you can't word things correctly. I know. But it just feels wrong to me. And I figure that starting a new game and then having a second session the following day, yeah, at least we get off to a good start. Like, yeah, maybe I'll do only one stream during the week if there's some sort of special thing going on. Like, again, I only do one main game stream during the week if we get a direct previously. But, yeah. I guess maybe we're gonna case-by-case basis, I'm not sure. I don't know. But that's life, I guess. That's what we're dealing with. So next week, if Nintendo finally does a Direct again, which I feel like they really should have done it last month, but, you know, whatever. It just feels kind of strange. Like, you'd think they do a Direct by now, because think about what's coming out soon. I bring this up every time we're doing one of these Dudunsparce streams, where it's like, there hasn't been a Nintendo Direct in a while. It's like, Kirby Air Rider is supposed to come out this year, no release date. Pokemon ZA, yeah, that's probably gonna get more focus in the Pokemon Presents this month, but there's still some cross-promotion in there, definitely. I'm still hoping for Layton, personally, because I don't think that has a release date yet. What else? There's NSO stuff, I guess, if they need to fill time. Apparently people are saying that there are plans to put on games like Smash 64. the roster because Nintendo recently let out like another one of those like tips and tricks Switch Online videos again. I guess to account for the Switch 2, maybe. And in the settings where they're changing like their screen options and everything, you can see in kind of the blurry, smudgy mess in the background what looks to be the colors of the Smash 64 box. I think there were a few other games too that were theorized, like Glover was on there, I think. And like, yeah, they haven't put that much stuff for NSO on Nintendo Directs as of late. They usually like, here's a couple games we're putting on the service, and they just slap it on Twitter. There you go. But like, it's not like they can't. And plus, while they're updating N64 and NES, NES, Game Boy Advance, all that, we just got GameCube when this was 2 launched. And yeah, they Mario Strikers, Mario Strikers, I think, was a Twitter post, yeah. But, you know, there's still room to put more stuff on there. And remember, like, there were some hype announcements that came from the NSO stuff. Remember when they re-released Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, or Mother 1, on NSO? They did like a whole thing on that, and that was a big reveal. Back when NSO was still vaguely new, right? And then they used that kind of thing to bait us into thinking, oh, they're putting Mario RPG on NSO. Nope, full remake. Surprise. It plays the original opening, so you think, oh, it's going to be NSO. Nope. That's how they get you. So NSO could theoretically, you know, show up at Direct, whether it be as an actual thing or bait. So, and because Smash Bros. Is so hype, having like a section of a Direct dedicated to, hey, Smash 64 and Melee, we're putting on both on NSO at the same time. It's like, come on. You know how hyped that would be? I mean, I wouldn't give a shit. That's expansion pass only. And Melee would be for Switch 2 only, because GameCube. I'm still not a guy who likes Smash all that much, but like, I guess they are important to gaming history, and I know everyone's gonna lose their shit. Especially over Melee. But like, maybe I'd feel something more about that if I actually played Smash more and Stockholm Syndrome my way to actually liking it. Jokes aside, though, it'd definitely be one of those good for you type reactions for me, but I understand that people really care about that sort of thing. So, whatever. Adding on from that, people are still talking about how we could get a new 3D Mario announcement for next year, because again, Mario's 40th, basically nothing came out of it so far, except for Mario Kart being a launch title, which just kind of felt like would happen anyway. And, from what we've heard, even though a lot of the Odyssey team did get brought over for Donkey Kong, as is very clear by like the game engine, the menuing and everything, and the fact that it was originally built for Switch 1, and they realized, shit, it's not powerful enough for this. It seems that it's not the full Odyssey team, so the team's kind of split. So part of the Odyssey team could be working on a new 3D Mario. It's not completely out of the picture anymore. And plus, Nintendo themselves released a press statement being like, yeah, we're gonna have games that have shorter development times because, games are taking way too long to make, way too much money to make, and it seems they're already starting to push through with that idea, considering, you know, Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life being more niche and being more, I guess they're more simple, I suppose. I mean, Rhythm Heaven is usually only played with like 1 or 2 buttons, so that is definitely a simple game. You can have that done fairly cheaply with a good turnaround time. Hell, Rhythm Heaven is, you know, I think it's in the WarioWare engine, I believe. Or at the very least, they are very much hand in hand. So because they already have a WarioWare engine down for the Switch, just use that, make a new Rhythm Heaven on it. There you go. So like half the work's already fucking done. So like that makes sense, right? They're already starting on the like lower, like smaller scale games, right? Not saying that Mario would be a smaller scale thing, but considering again it has been 8 years since Odyssey, I mean I feel like we kind of need something by now, right? Like what was the last mainline 3D Mario? Odyssey. I guess Bowser's Fury, but that's part of a bundle with a re-release of 3D World. So it's really more of a 3D World Plus scenario where it's not really. It is a new game, but like it's more 3D World basically. It's more open. Besides that, like nothing, I guess. We've had Mario Wonder for 2D, but 3D's had nothing. That feels kind of strange to me. Like, it's not even that they did much with Odyssey. Like, they did the update to add more. They updated the game to add more outfits and add the Luigi's Balloon World, and that's kind of it, you know. Maybe they fix a few bugs now and again. I think they updated the game for Switch 2, so there's that. But that's as far as they went with it. They didn't do some major DLC for it or anything. So you'd think there's been enough time passed to make a new 3D Mario. I don't know why they've been holding on. I mean, besides the fact they want Donkey Kong to have more of a spotlight, and definitely, 100%, like DK deserves it, sure. Bonanza looks great. I'm gonna be getting that game when I get my Switch 2, obviously. Just from the footage I've seen, that is definitely a must-have for Switch 2. Fantastic launch window game right there. I understand that you want to give Donkey Kong a little bit of time to shine before you bring out Mario, right? Perfectly fine. But even then, you'd think there would have been something about it at least the last couple of years, right? And now that it's not the entire Odyssey team behind Donkey Kong, that means some of them could be working on a 3D Mario. Right? It's not completely out of the cards anymore. So, where is it? I don't want to sound ungrateful, but again, it's been 8 years since Odyssey. Wait, no. Has it been 8 years? Getting close to it. The Switch came out in 2017. That came out in March. Odyssey, I think, was like a holiday title for the year. So it turns. Hang on. So Mario Odyssey will be 8 in a few months, but it's still 8 years since 2017. See, it has been way too long since Odyssey. I'm sorry. I think that'd be at least a little something, right? I understand part of that may have been slowed down because of the bad times, the beginning of the decade, where everything just went to shit. But like, I'll admit, like you'd think there'd be something, right? Like a little something. Like, I'd be fine with a smaller title along the scale of, like, Bowser's Fury, I guess. Just, something. We haven't seen that. That's weird to me. And I guess Mario already has his Switch 2, like, first year game covered, because Mario Kart happened very beginning of the console. That was a launch thing. Like, that could technically be the Mario slot. We have Zelda covered with the DLC for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, with the Switch 2 editions, and the new Hyrule Warriors. We have Metroid covered with Prime 4, Splatoon's covered with Splatoon Raiders. That's a lot of their big ones. Kirby has a Switch 2 edition, as well as a new spin-off, sequel to Air Red. It feels kind of weird that Mario would just have the kart racer and that'd be it. You know? And that was kind of how it was on Switch 1, because I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out on the Switch before Odyssey. I feel like it did. Didn't it? But even then, Mario Odyssey was announced with the Switch 1. So, you'd think that this big new 3D Mario, which, you know, it's been long enough, you'd think they would have announced it already. And they weren't going to announce it back during the Switch 2 Direct or anything. Like, Summer Direct would have been perfect for it. Especially with how much stuff they still have, you know, left to fully announce, right? Right? We've gotten a tease for Kirby Air Riders. We have no gameplay. Not counted this year, no release date. Do we have a release date for Hyrule Warriors yet? I don't remember if we have a release date for that. I don't remember. I'll have to refresh myself on that Switch 2 Direct again. I guess either way, I really should just make a bingo card for the Direct, right? I really should, shouldn't I? For a new Direct, focusing on Switch 1 and Switch 2 titles, because there is going to be a little bit of cross-gen stuff for probably at least a year. Because look, we have, you know, Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven coming out next year. And they were announced back in the Switch 1 stuff. It's cross-platform, it's cross-gen, I guess, right? So at least until mid-2026, we're going to be getting Switch 1 stuff. Or at least stuff that works on both. Ah! You thought he could slip past me. But yeah. You gotta think about what kind of stuff could be in the Summer Direct. It's gotta be big. It's the first year of Switch 2. It's gotta be big, right? You gotta convince more people to, you know, upgrade the console. Besides the fact that the Switch 1 it just can't keep up with newer games most of the time. It really just can't. So many compromises, and even then the game still runs like shit a lot of the time. Like, yeah, this, for example. Though this is more of a problem with the game being rushed at the door than anything else. But still, that is a concern. Like, you gotta give more additions to the library, I guess. Like, we all know the song, they never have enough games at launch, might as well just wait a year or so, because then they'll have a lot of this shit ironed out and they'll do a lot more stuff. What could that stuff be, though? Ask the question, what have you got planned, Mr. Miyamoto? That was a buzzer beater? That was a buzzer beater with that shiny, by the way. We just ran out of that sandwich. Okay. That was right at the end of that sandwich. Ow. Okay. Cool. That was timed well. I am gonna check real quick. Just to make sure I'm not crazy. I don't think Layton has a release date yet. Mr. Layton in the New World of Steam. Release date. Yep, nothing. Just sometime this year. Didn't they tease it like 3 years ago? They teased it, and I think there was like a convention or something where they showed off some gameplay or like some of the actual in-game material. Like late last year. Still no release date. Here's someone talking about it on Reddit. It's coming as either release. It's been confirmed for 2025 for ages. The fact there's still a release date, or even season after 2 years. What? Tells me it's nowhere near ready and be Q4 with possibility to get pushed back. Oof. Yeah. So that's kind of weird, right? I mean, we at least have a year for it, but come on. Actual release date, please. Because you know for a fact I'm playing that game on stream. Shiny Dudunsparce, by the way. We'll go with Bashful. I got it! I guess the nature! Let's go! Okay, let's get rid of Dragon Rush on you and put on Hyper Drill. I actually guessed the nature correctly. Oh my god, I am the best. Now you see why I am the best. I did it. I did it. Now imagine if this is a 3-second and we're just done with this on number 45. Okay, 2 segments. Too good to be true, I guess. Too good to be true. It's like everything was falling into place a little too well. I get it. that was kind of pushing it. I understand. There you go. Save my game. So I gotta think. I think after this stream, first off, I'm gonna make sure to get that 7-star Kumo, because that's in Terra raids right now. Also, I'm saying Terra. So fast it's like terror. And I guess those can be a little bit scary because I'm not great at building. I'm not great at building a Pokemon for that. I'm terrible at it. I always have to look at some sort of guide. I cannot figure a lot of this shit out. You wonder why I stopped doing the competitive stuff streams? A, the seasons end so fast. Like, I got like 8 streams to go max. No. And second, I'm just really bad at building viable Pokemon. I'm really bad at that. I'm not good at this shit, you know? I'm not good at Pokemon. I'm just kinda here. What do you expect me to do? Tofu. The tomatoes are kind of clipping into the tofu because the camera did not move up until now, which was weird. So assuming there is no direct next week, which I feel like if they're gonna do a direct, they have to do it pretty soon, right? Would they do it? Hang on. Let me check the calendar real quick. Next week seems fully clear. The Pokemon Presents thing is 22nd. You know what? Nintendo today can verify the Pokemon Presents being on the 22nd. I think. Yes. And no, I'm not watching that live. I don't watch Lax Central's live. I do highlights with us. I don't even do highlights for Pokemon Presents. No, maybe I should, but nah. I don't know. Like maybe, you know what? I think I will record my reactions personally. And if this ends up being an announcement for Generation 10, which it definitely will not be, then I'll make a little highlight showing off my reactions and that sort of stuff, you know? Maybe. But if there is no announcement for Gen 10, which obviously, again, will not happen. This is not the year for that. Next year, maybe. Let Legend ZA breathe. Yeah, if it somehow gets announced this year, you're gonna feel so wrong. I'll put my reaction to it on online. Sure. Why not? Yeah, looking at it. Donkey Kong comes out next Thursday. So I guess maybe next week would be good for a direct. The following week we get Mario Party. Switch edition for that. So either way, a game would release the same week, as I assume they don't do it at the very end of the month. If it is the same week as Pokemon Presents, it might get a bit clogged. But then again, they also did 2 directs within a week. One for Switch 1, one for Switch 1, one for Switch 2. I spoke way too fast. I don't know. They can. I guess if we get an announcement for Nintendo Direct, it will show up on Nintendo today. I also did turn on notifications for Nintendo of America's Twitter again, because I always post stuff on there. It also means I'm getting a lot of random filler stuff. Like, guess the tune! I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure something. Anyway, back to what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be getting Dudunsparce. Let's do that. Make sure stream's still going, because I don't trust it. I'm pretty sure stream's still going. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Just, you can't trust technology sometimes, man. You cannot trust it. No faith in technology whatsoever. So yeah, I think after stream tonight, I'm gonna get that Mighty Komolo, as they're officially called. I'm gonna make sure I have my bingo card ready for next direct. Because that probably... I feel like if it wasn't gonna happen this week, which it didn't, they didn't do one last month, there has to be one, right? Why would they not do one? Why would they not do a Nintendo Direct this month either? Like, I'll admit, I have not paid attention to the exact dates of Directs, and I only really started paying attention to Nintendo Directs, like, within the last few years. But definitely this decade is when I actually started watching Directs. I started reacting to them a couple years ago. Like, live reactions, by the way. So, I'll admit I'm a bit out of the loop when it comes to, like, a lot of the Direct's time frames. But usually how it used to go, what I remember, is we have one early in the year, around February. We have one in the middle of the year, in June or July. It wasn't June this year. This would be like around the E3 time. Which, you know, everyone else did their announcements, stuff, so it makes sense Nintendo would around that time as well. And then we would have one towards the end of the year, maybe around October, maybe November. Talks about a couple of the smaller projects that are set to come out in that year, and then mostly stuff for the following year. So February is like beginning of the current year. New year, new games sort of deal. Summer Direct, here's stuff for the latter half of the year, maybe a little bit of stuff for after. Generally, you have outliers like Rhythm Happen, of course. And then you have an end of year direct where it's like, here's the rest of the stuff for this year. There's not gonna be much. We're focusing on next year. You know? And then depending on how much stuff they have, they may lower the number of directs for like towards the end of the console's life. we noticed that there was one direct early in the year and then one towards the end of the year. Like, they would often skip summer directs. And that makes sense for a console where it's towards the end and don't have anything prepared for really to make your console launch yet, right? But they don't have that much set in stone for anything on that particular console. So, like, late in a console's life, it makes sense to slow down a bit. We have just started a new console generation for Nintendo. The Switch 2 came out last month, I believe. So, you would think that there would be 3 directs. Technically 4, because the Switch 1 direct sat right a week before the Switch 2 one. That would cover the rest of this year. For example, like I mentioned, Kirby, Layton. Give us a couple of surprises. Bring my fucking F-Zero. Hello. The hype cycle is screaming at me. The F-Zero, though. They did F-Zero 99. Then they put F-Zero GX in it so immediately. So like, new game imminent. Like, I know how the hype cycle works with Nintendo. And plus, I say it every time. Do we have a real holiday game yet? It's like maybe Kirby Air Riders is it. We don't have a release date. We don't have a release date for that yet. So we don't have a concrete answer yet. Pokemon Legends Z8 comes out in October, which is a little early to really be a holiday game. Usually they come out closer towards December. Not December, November. Like closer to Christmas. You're in time for Black Friday, but like not like October levels of early before then, right? And even then, Legends ZA is cross-gen. It's on Switch 1 and 2. So it's not the big console seller either for the holidays. I guess Mario Kart does kind of pick up the slack in that regard because, you know, Mario Kart was the best-selling game of Switch 1. So, of course, Switch 2 is getting a Mario... Switch 2 gets a Mario Kart out the door, and that's going to be the main selling point for a while. I get that. You know, big holiday game. We need that, though, right? And who knows what else they have planned. Odds are we probably won't get proper release dates for the Switch 1 games that got announcements. Again, Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life got sequel announcements during the Switch 1 Direct earlier this year. They said, it's just coming next year. We're not going to go any further into that. Good luck. I feel like if they're going to announce dates for that, it's going to be in a later Direct. Like that theoretical, like, October, November Direct, right? Like, much later. Because that's when they start focusing on the next year's games. I guess I was kind of expecting the Switch 2 to have a bit more of a grand launch. I mean, granted, it's kind of the Switch 1 again, just with more power, more space is getting used up by game key card bullshit. But, hey, it is a more powerful, slightly larger Switch with more capacity. Maybe a little bit more sleekness, maybe. But, like, you'd still think it would be a momentous occasion. You'd be like, hey, look at what the Switch 2 can do. It's like your Switch, but it can do more shit. It's super powerful now. It can actually keep up with the PS4. Less compromises need to be made. Your games will actually look really good on it now. You know? You'd think that would mean we'd have a bigger deal on our hands here. But maybe not. It's not like there's not already big gives to the console. Mario Kart being a launch title was a gimme. New Donkey Kong, that's huge. Air Riders is definitely a smaller game, but it's huger than the Kirby community. Which does seem to be growing based on the Forgotten Lands numbers. Pokemon is the biggest franchise in the world, so that's pretty big. But again, that's cross-gen. It's not necessarily a Switch 2 thing. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll admit, like, I feel like I always have trouble trying to predict what's going to be in a Direct. You know? Like, you would not believe, last couple years of Directs, you've mainly seen my bingo cards kind of slowly degrade over the times, over the Directs, over the years. It's like, back when I first started reacting, like, Switch 1 was definitely slowing down, but it was still kind of a big thing still. We still got plenty of, you know, heavy hitters and whatnot. Apex. But then, you know, as the Switch 1 was definitely winding down and got a lot of the bigger stuff out of the way, I kind of stretched to fit in other stuff on the bingo cards. Maybe I put in some more meme options like Farming Sim or Cloud version. But, like, that would still leave a lot of the bingo board open for me to just put in, like, long shot entries in the bingo card to fill in space. Like, was it even vaguely realistic that a Kid Icarus game would show up in a Direct last year? No, and I still put it on the bingo board anyway, because I had to put space on there. And remember, Rhythm Heaven Tomodachi Life were on the bingo card during the Switch 1 Direct this year, and they both showed up. So it's technically possible that these, like, other forgotten Nintendo IPs could show up. There's still value in putting stuff there, but it's still a long shot, right? Even then, they're more general predictions. Like, a game from this series, a game from this series, a game with this kind of functionality. That's kind of it, right? A lot of people go into a lot more detail. The most detail I tend to put on my bingo cards is a new Mario game going to be 2D or 3D? That's the limit I go with it. That's as far as I go. I don't know. I'm not so good at predicting things, says the guy who was able to guess the right nature on the Dudunsparce he got today. Fucking immediately. Woo. It's a selective prediction process, clearly. hey, with nature guesses, I'm working with like a 1 in 20, right? I don't have that kind of precision with a direct prediction, you know? Especially when I'm trying to make a damn bingo card. You know. I know some people like to stream making bingo cards, like, before the Direct happens. I think that's a thing that Fidel of the Games Cage, you know, the, screams about Sonic guy all the time. He does bingo card, like, streams. Like, he streams making a bingo card, like, a day before the Direct goes live. So he has something ready to go, and the fans can all agree on something together. I don't really do that. A, because my laptop's not that great with that sort of, like, loading up an internet browser with OBS, trying to stream, and make everything look good before making a thing. I don't have Photoshop or anything. All of my thumbnails and bingo cards, I go to a freaking website to do all that sort of stuff. You know? Because MS Paint looks like shit and has no transparency. So I can't use that. And of course, if I load up an internet browser, it's not going to look around stream. Like the tier list stream, the favorite Pokemon grid stream from a long time ago. Like, yeah, no, they were kind of scuffed. Screams about Sonic, guys. They're pretty accurate description. I always envision one particular clip of him being like, Sonic! And just like getting up out of his chair and like he's about to run around and shit. Like, I haven't seen every reaction of his. Don't get me wrong. How much do you want to bet there's been at least one time where he's screamed about Sonic and gotten so excited about it that he's fallen out of his chair, fallen backwards, and stumbled? Like, that's the kind of high energy I expect from him. And it's mainly Sonic where he gets that way. So, like, yeah, I always think about the screams about Sonic guy, because that's how he is. But, yeah, I'm not so great with the making the bingo card stuff. And I can't really stream it to kind of formulate it with you guys because, like, it would be so scuffed. It would be so scuffed. It would look awful. I mean, the Nintendo Direct reaction streams on their own are kind of scuffed because I use OBS's built-in browser to load the page to the Direct. That's the Direct that's running in the background. As the Direct that's actually running them reacting to, I'm running it through OBS with its built-in internet browser. And then I have the bingo card kind of placed in the corner, and I like duplicate a Mario token, which I think is a graphic rep straight from Mario Kart to represent the bingo tokens. And maybe I'll add to put a Switch logo in there for good measure because I want to make it look a little bit more fancy, but it still looks like it's kind of stuck looking, you know? That's generally how I think the bingo card making stream would look. It would look scuffed because you'd be looking at, you know, kind of a web browser, maybe not aligned the best. And I'm probably not going to run through OBS for that because, you know, OBS trying to interact with the browser, and that's also a bit awkward. So if I want to use an online editor that I'm used to, I'm running it through Chrome or Microsoft Edge, and that's not going to be great. But because I'm not making these bingo cards live, I have to go solely based on my knowledge and then maybe copying shit of other bingo cards that people are posting on Twitter. A lot of my bingo cards aren't even original! I'm bad at guessing. I may get lucky every now and again with, like, the Bashful Nature, Dudunsparce, or Tomodachi Life, and Rhythm Heaven, both in the One Direct. But I cannot, for the life of me, predict enough stuff reasonably where I feel like I have a good chance of, you know, filling in a bingo card relatively well. I have not gotten a bingo yet. I've gotten close. There have been multiple times where I've gotten 4 in a row, but I've not gotten that legendary 5. You know? And most of the time, it's very scattered. I get like 2 per direction, you know? It's a mess. And I guess it's fairly standard, right? I feel like a lot of people, when they make bingo cards with directs, I feel they're a lot more extreme with it. You know? Like, again, my bingo cards are a bit more broad. Where it's like, a Mario game. Maybe they split for 2D or 3D, right? Like, oh, here, a new game for this franchise. Oh, a game that has a cloud version instead of an actual proper release. And of course there was the meme stuff with the farming sims, but that died out. There's that one direct where there was like 3 or 4 farming sims all announced in the same direct and we all laughed at it. For like the next year we just put in all of our bingo cards because it's funny. But that joke's kind of dead, they've moved on from that. It's like, Fae Farm is out. They don't need to promote the direct anymore. The meme is dead. So I can't even put that much filler in, you know? I can't put meme filler in there as much anymore. And of course, there's plenty of series where we just got a game for them. Why would there be another direct answer for them? So like, we just got a Donkey Kong game. Why the hell would I put Donkey Kong in a new direct bingo for like a couple of years? There's no way he'd have another game. He had his big game. They're not gonna do a 3D one. Odds are we wouldn't even see a 2D one for a couple of years. So he's not gonna show up in a direct for like another couple of years. So he's out of the bingo card. I can't fill in space Donkey Kong with all space, you know? And as we get more games from these different series, like, I reasonably have to keep certain series off of the board. God damn it. Been a minute we've seen a wild 2-segment Dudunsparce, huh? What's the Dudunsparce? A wild Dudunsparce. Haven't seen that in a while. Last year's streams, I actually haven't seen any. Still counts towards the total. It's just an instant wash. But yeah, like, making a bingo card super tough for me. And even part of it is because I don't keep up with that many series. Like, I keep up with Mario and Kirby and all that, sure. Zelda I'm there for, like, enough. Not saying I'm like the biggest fan, like I'm gonna get every Zelda game or anything. I still get to finish Tears of the Kingdom. I did not get Breath of the Wild, and then I still get to finish Tears of the Kingdom. I did not pick up Echoes of Wisdom. I'm probably not gonna pick up Hyrule Warriors because that's just too different. That's not even really a Zelda game per se. It's more of like a big. Is brawler the right word for it? I don't know. I don't know the names of a lot of these genres I don't play. So like, it's not my thing, right? That's kind of true with a lot of these series. So like, I'm not keeping up with everything going on with every single series. And then the third parties make it even more of a thing to keep track of. Like, Sonic hasn't really done anything besides Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. That's going to be out pretty soon. Maybe they'll show up at a direct, but they did not even do a Sonic Central this year. Think about that. But, you know, I'm not expecting a Sonic thing in a Nintendo Direct, right? Even if Frontiers got that kind of treatment. But still. The only real third party I can even think of on the top of my head that I'm really looking forward to is Layton. And that shocks people, because I've never played a Layton game before. The only reason I want to actually get this new one is because I want to go into a Layton game fresh with no chance of spoiling myself. Well, spoiling myself in quotes. Like, no chance. It's online. Everyone solves it within like a day. I still gotta do my typical dodge the internet stuff that I normally do with a new game. But, to that end, the puzzles aren't online immediately, you know? It's gonna take a few days at least to get the puzzles online. So if I get the game day one and I stream it, I'm going in fresh. Everyone's also going in fresh. So we all are, well, like, there's no chance of someone showing up and being like, oh, to do the puzzle, you do this. No like, backseating or anything. No resources online in terms of the specific puzzles or anything. It's a new, fresh experience. You know? I feel like it's really a good thing with puzzle games. Going in fresh, don't know what the hell's going on. So of course I want to get a new Layton game after watching. I watched Wanye play. Which one was it? Which one was he playing? He's played 2 at this point. I did not watch most of the second one he did for some reason. That's because the stream schedule just didn't. He recently streamed the Pandora's Box. I did not watch most of those streams, I think. I think I just kept missing them. I'm like, I'm not gonna join in like partway through that. I already did that with the first Layton game he played. I forget which one he did. I forget which one he did. But watching him play that and Alex, of course, being all super excited about it, like, and all that, like, I figure, like, you know, I want to play this. And we got a new one coming up. I want to play the new one. I have that kind of mentality. Where it's like, I want to get into a series, but I'd rather jump in with the new title, you know? It's like, I've never played a Monkey Ball. I'm going to play the new one. I've never played a Splatoon game. I'm going to play the new one. My first Monkey Ball game was the Monkey Ball game I streamed. I don't really care for it. First Splatoon game I played? Splatoon 3. What else? Late in this case, there you go. We'll see when that comes out. Smash? I already said, I'm not getting Smash Ultimate. I'll get a new Smash when they inevitably make one. So I feel like it's too late to jump into some of these now, especially the more competitive ones like Smash, because a lot of the casual audience moved away, mainly up to people who are super competitive, and I feel like I should end up frustrating me even more, you know? This is a new fresh one, you don't have to worry about people playing the absolute fucking meta and blasting it when you're just trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. Everyone has to kind of learn shit. And you have new characters to deal with. You know? They always add new characters every Smash game. You know? So the new game in the series has all the up-to-date stuff. And all of the people are going to be playing it, including not just the competitive crowd, but the casual crowd. And that mindset has just kind of pushed over to everything. If I'm going to jump into a series, unless I'm actively told, start at the beginning, because story-based stuff, I'll just play the newest one. I guess part of that is just kind of the FOMO, kind of fear of missing out type deal, where it's like, I'm playing the old one. Oh, that's cool. We're all playing the new one. And of course, because you played the old one, like, you're not gonna want to play the new one back to back, are you? I don't want to get myself in a spiral. You know? I'm not like that with every game, but if there's a game I'm interested in, or at the very least, I told myself I'm gonna force myself to frickin' play it because, God, then of course I'm just gonna go and get the new one with everyone else. Like, I've already went over this kind of mentality when it came to the Legends series, the Pokemon Legends. You know, I might as well not get Legends Arceus because the A's coming in. Can't be too different, right? And then Vix, you were correcting me on that, being like, actually, since they're going to be playing surprisingly differently, but yeah, maybe don't play both of them back to back, but play it eventually. It's still worth getting. So, it's not a fucking replacement. I mean, replacement's a harsh word. There's still value in going back to the older games. Definitely. Like, some games aren't like that. It's not really worth going back and playing Smash 4 nowadays, really. So, like, competitive games are games with a bit more of a multiplayer emphasis. Like, there's no real reason to go back to Splatoon 1 or 2. Splatoon 1 especially because the servers are dead. So, like, multiplayer-focused stuff, yeah. That still does push into things that are a bit more involved, I guess, as well. It's like, Gen 9 of Pokemon recently came out. Well, recently. I'm not gonna get Sword and Shield, I'm gonna get Scarlet or Violet, because that's the new one. Everyone else has already moved on from Gen 9. I'm gonna experience a new generation with everyone. You know? I guess it's just because I want to get more people are involved, I guess. Everyone's jumping on the fresh new thing together, so I don't know. I that kind of mentality is kind of just spread through new games I want to play. I rather just, like, if I know a new one's coming out, or it feels like a safe bet that a new one's coming out, I'm just gonna wait for the new one. Because, like, everyone's gonna have moved on, and then I'll feel like I'm kind of wasting my time. You kind of seem to be focused around completely different things, and also different battle systems. Yeah. Still worthwhile differences, and that means RC still has some worth going on in it, but I'm not playing both back-to-back, and with Legends ZA around the corner, I might as well just get that. I'm gonna pick up a Legends. If I'm gonna pick up one Legends game, it's gonna be ZA. Whether or not I play on stream is to be determined. Like, I did not stream the base story of Gen 9, but I did stream the DLCs when those came out. I don't know if I'm gonna stream Legends ZA. If I do, it's gonna be shiny hunting stuff, because, you know, it'd be a nice replacement for Dudunsparce when this is all over. I can leave this shit behind. I don't know. Like, I stream for like 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4 or 5 if things go super long or I'm not paying the fuck attention. But like, it's an RPG, they go on long. Do we need to go over Mario Luigi Brothership again? Where it went on for like 24 streams, I think, over the course of around 45, 50 hours. Pokemon's probably gonna be around that long. Especially as I'm trying to go for the full Pokedex and everything. Like, we're gonna be playing that for months. We're gonna be playing that for months. So, do I want to stream that? Maybe, maybe not. And even if I do, that means I'm definitely not gonna be playing Legends Arceus for at least years. I don't know. But if we're tagging along for a playthrough, if you're interested. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna stream it or not. And plus, like, I may pick it up for Switch 1, because I don't Switch 2 yet. Sure. And that would be a good thing for Switch 1. Then Switch 2 happens. Another buzzer beater shine. That's two sandwiches we're gonna have shiny at the very end of the sandwich. But yeah, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna be getting my Switch 2 at some point after Legends ZA is out. Right? And by that point, I'll have, like, I want to stream Donkey Kong. I want to stream Kirby Air Riders. And Forgotten Land with his DLC. There's other stuff I want to stream in there. But because Pokemon's an RPG, well, a lot of other stuff has to get pushed back. I'd rather not have that. Maybe I can kind of do what I've been doing recently, where it's been like a half-and-half scenario, where I do one Dudunsparce and then one of something else. And for the last few weeks, it's been Mario 3, Dudunsparce. Dudunsparce Mario 3, Dudunsparce Mario 3, the Archipelago, Dudunsparce. Like a half-and-half scenario. But depending on the game, that shit may not fly as well. No? Especially with more involved games. Like with Mario 3, like, I've played that game a lot, I know what I'm doing. The rust ain't gonna be a super big deal. With Archipelago, I mean, I'm not gonna start anything else new after that. That's a whole 6-hour thing. We were hoping for maybe 3 or 4, and then everything went to shit, and there was a whole time for like 15 minutes where the servers went down for the thing, where we were debating whether or not we were going to do it. It's like, are we going to finish this or we're not going to? And we were kind of like, what are we going to do now? Glad that got all sorted out. And this was 2 by the time ZA comes out, hopefully before that. You got a couple months. That comes out in October, right? Mid-October? You got 3 months. You got August, September, October. Yeah. You got a couple months yet. Well, this guy is a bit of a wash. You're already a 2 segment. You... Oh, hold on. Press the wrong D-pad direction. Wasn't really looking at the D-pad, kind of having my controller kind of just sitting down, kind of pecking at it with a finger. Accidentally hit right instead of down. Oops. Well, you're adamant. You, though! You're the one that actually kind of matters, because you can evolve. I'm gonna guess... timid. Relax. Okay. I'm going to put the move on you. Hyper drill. I don't know when I'm going to be getting mine. I might wait for the holiday, but even then, the holiday's going to be credit for it too, because Black Friday, everyone's going to be going nuts for it. I may still have to wait even longer. That makes us even harder. Though ZA will be a Switch 1 thing. So like, if I don't get a Switch 2, I have Z to fall back on at least. I can't rely on that forever. And 2 segment. Okay. Into the boxes you go. Nope. We have time for one more sandwich. Hang on. Back out. I want to save. Stop rushing into it. I want to save. There we go. Like, I know I'm gonna get it eventually, but like, given the fact it's so hard to get, like even now they're still selling out at even my local Walmarts and everything. You know, my local area, where games, like... I've had experiences multiple times where I get a pre-order bonus for a game that has been out for a while without having to pre-order because not enough people in my area do it. You know? I understand the Switch 2 is definitely different from game pre-orders, but you know, I figure like there's not gonna be that many like hardcore gamers that are gonna be rushing out to get this, right? Where I live? I guess the console's a different story. I guess the console's a different story. So, like, And luckily, I at least still have enough stuff in the backlog to some extent with NSO to maybe fill in the gaps. You know? All I'm saying is, like, nothing's really set in stone. Plans are a bit iffy. I mean, given the past, like, while where it's like, are we getting a direct or are we not? And the answer has just been no. Then there's the archipelago thing. And me not wanting to get burnt on Dudunsparce, trying to find, like, okay, let's see if we need a parent down. Nice short again like Mario 3. I'll do it. That worked out well. I'm still trying to work out what I'm gonna do for streams, because, like, if I want to keep the Thursday Friday schedule, and I don't want to burn myself out with Dudunsparce, and I honestly kind of want to leave this for now, after the stream, take a break from it. Again. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me look at my list again. From like last week, we talked about this. Metroid 1, Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, Original Zelda, Link's Awakening, Mario Land 2, Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, Zelda Ages or Seasons, pick one. I don't know. So, like, I have options. I have something to tide me over, I guess, because NSO. But a lot of this, I feel like it's going to be more filler, you know? I don't want to make it feel that way, because, like, a lot of these games I'm playing for the first time, or have not played in a super long time. So these will be pretty fresh. But, you know, it's not as big of a main event as, like, playing a new Pokemon DLC, or playing a new Sonic game when it comes out. Or, may I remind you, Pikmin 4, probably, like, For the demo as soon as possible, got through all that. Started from there when I got the full game, which was day one. Not that many kind of things going around right now, especially because I don't have my Switch 2 yet. I can't experience Mario Kart myself right now. I'm not going to be getting Donkey Kong day one, which sucks because I want that game so bad. Looks so fun. I have a lot of stuff until, like, I can usually kind of push it until I get to that point where I can get a Switch 2. If I'm lucky enough to get my hands on one. You never know. You never know, really. Just kind of have to work around that sort of thing, I guess. Oh well. I mean, I already waited to get my Switch 1. It's like, that came out in March 2017, right? That was a Christmas thing for me. Might be the same with Switch 2. Assuming I actually get stock of it. It lasts more than a day. You know? I wonder how much overlap. Bit of a weird topic switch. I wonder how much of an overlap there is between the people who are buying Switch 2s immediately when they restock, and the people who go to our local card game store and buy all the new Pokemon stuff when that restocks. Because there's been a whole problem with the scalpers and everything. Because like these new packs recently have been super popular. It's affected our area even. And again, I like to stress, small area. I kind of like to think of it as a middle of nowhere, even though it's not necessarily the case. Definitely more so than, like, I don't live in a city. Right? I live in a town. And yet we're still having to deal with the results of like the Pokemon card stuff. I never really think of my area having a large audience for that sort of thing. Like, games in general. You know? I guess I've been underestimating it. Especially nowadays when more people are getting into that sort of thing. Maybe my perspective is just, you know, based on that of, like, my family. Where I am legitimately the only one in my family to play video games to any major extent. Not counting mobile games. I mean, my mom plays mobile games. She plays the mobile solitaire, she plays like a mobile mahjong thing. It's not like she can't, but like most of my family, the ones you always see at the family gatherings, are like twice my age minimum, usually at least 3 times. And like, I'm not gonna convince any of them to play games with me. I've tried. It's always failed. Other people roughly my age, like my cousin, I don't even think she gives a shit about mobile games. So, like, can't convince her. So, like, yeah. I'm the only one in my family who plays video games. I feel so alone. I can't, like, it's kind of true, though. Mario Bros is like one of the reasons why I wanted to get the Game Wave. Not just because I thought it was like kind of like a funny little thing. Well, I will admit it's more funny because of its story, more so from its library. But, like, looking at it, it's a DVD player, basically. With, like, super casual games on it. Like, if there's any way I can convince my family to play video games to any extent, because the Switch 1, like, with Kirby, like the baby platformer to end all baby platformers, even that's too much for them. I figure, okay, the Game Wave does not have very many games. A lot of them are trivia based. We have like a Yahtzee clone, a Bejeweled clone. Oh, we have Wheel of Fortune is straight up, damn near 1-to-1. Like, there's a reason why it was marketed to the groups it was. And funnily enough, my mom would fit in that group. So, I guess that's what appealed to her to some extent. So, with that in mind, the Game Wave may have been what I needed to bring gaming to my family. And I feel like it might be, you know, just entertaining enough for me. Like, simple enough for my family, but like, we with like Uno and stuff all the time. There's at least that. So like, I feel like a lot of the Game Wave's library is around that scale. And I don't know what we did with our version of Yahtzee. It's like Block 5 will have to do. But, you know, I've already explained before, my Game Wave that I got does not work. And I have only just now gotten a plausible answer as to what could possibly have happened. You see, I have not fully taken the thing apart. I'm scared to, messing around with the circuitries and the little capacitors and everything. And especially trying to detach the freaking IR sensor on it, because yeah, it uses infrared for some reason. But like, I don't want to break anything further. I've never messed with technology like this. But someone was theorizing that under the disk drive, there is a capacitor that has bulged and failed, and I had to get a new one. But because it's so niche, we don't know the exact capacitor that would work for it. And like, if we replaced it, like that requires for soldering. I've never messed around with that. That's effectively a hardware modification. I've never done that. I don't know anyone who does that. Especially not with a console like this. So, I'm gonna try to take the thing fully apart because, like, honestly, no matter what, if I don't, it's not gonna get fixed. It's gonna be broken. If I break something more, well, the thing's already kind of kaput anyway, right? And I need to know what the hell's up with this thing. So I think I need to just bite the bullet and at least open the thing up all the way, remove the disk drive and all that, just to see. I just have to. We'll just go from there, I guess. You know? Like, I've never really opened up a console like this before, but like, I want to stream this for you guys because it'd be kind of interesting. I want to play this with my family because this might be the only way I can play video games with them. And plus, this is the only console where there's so few games that's the only one where I could reasonably find the full collection of it someday. Keyword being someday. And also, apparently, they were cheaper than I thought, because I thought they were going for like hundreds of bucks. But Mom said she got it for like 50. Now, I check and I'm like, oh. And that's kind of a big investment for a thing that does literally nothing. Kind of a big investment for a paperweight. And again, we're still missing one of the remotes for it, so it's not technically even complete. But like, I don't know if it even convinced more than a couple people to play with me anyway. And for a stream, I'm playing alone. No, if I can stream. I need to get an AV to HDMI converter. Or something. That's gonna take a little bit of extra pocket change as well. You know, all that aside. Hey. Excuse me, good sir. There's a shiny under you. Hello? Hello? Excuse me! There we go. That was awkward. Funny, but awkward. Come here, you. There's the existence of a series on YouTube about non-gamers playing games and how to make it enjoyable for them. Maybe take a look at that. Maybe. Does that also include people that are at minimum age 60? Because like I said, most of my family is way older than me. So it's gonna be even harder to get games to appeal to them. It's hard enough as is. I tried to get them to play Kirby. Kirby is known for being super easy. That was too much for them. I'll look into it. But even then, I still want to see if I can maybe find some way to get this Game Boy fixed. Even if it's just for the novelty of the damn thing. I don't want to give up on this. I don't want to give up on this, you know? I really don't want to. Plus, because this is a DVD player, there's a chance that maybe in the future, I could play DVD games with it. We can go back and look at old DVD menus and all that, just have a fun time going to nostalgia. That'd be cool, right? That kind of thing's been done before. I brought up the Retro Pals at one point. They did a stream with DVD games. They played Trek Bingo, they played Deal or No Deal, and they played Press Your Luck, all in one stream. All DVD games, mind you. So, like, those are games that are built for DVD. The only thing in them is the game part. Imagine, if you will, a world where I just get games from just the bonus features. That could be interesting. The only problem with that, though, is I'm worried about the copyright stuff happening. You know? It's not going to be super easy to deal with that. I definitely just play it extra safe and want to make, like, extra, like, layout for that. Just to be absolutely, like, super cautious with it. Because, like, that could be problems with just streaming DVD games like that. It's a game, but, like, when you're basing around stuff like Deal or No Deal, you bring in the proper host and all of the iconography and everything, and, like, you're kind of pushing it, you know? You might start having issues. But then again, it's also just raw gameplay of a lot of these games on YouTube with no issue, seemingly. So, I don't know. It's quite literally a time to teach people who are completely inept at video games. Okay. Maybe it could work then. But yeah, I still want to see if I can figure out how to fix this game with. Get it out of its freaking boot loop and just load up some of the games on it. That's a week's worth of streams right there. And then again, that opens up the door for DVD stuff. DVD stuff, just going through nostalgia shit. That'd be so cool. But then maybe more of a video series where I can edit a lot easier. I don't know. With live streams, it's going live, so that may be a problem. I can't really do stuff on the fly to like counteract that sort of thing, you know? It would open the doors. It would lead to some potential. And plus, with it being on a Game Boy, a TV cables, it's gonna look blurry. Which A, adds to the nostalgia factor, and B, may not trip it as easily. We may have an easier time actually playing the games on stream because they look a bit more fuzzy. I don't know. That might be a stretch. We just gotta hope the thing frickin' works at some point first. Like, I think Wanye brought up like a repair cafe before. A, not really a thing around here. And B, any repair shops I could find, like proper repair shops, they wouldn't be able to repair this thing. Because this thing came out in 2009. It's like 15 years old. On super old technology that they don't make anymore. They barely made any of to begin with. How the hell am I supposed to get this thing fixed? There's barely any documentation on the thing. The community is super small for the Game Wave. It's like for ever to get any sort of vague answer as to be like, is there anything like outwardly here that looks like it's broken? They're like, no. Take it apart more. Remove the disk drive. I'm like, okay. Now is the point where we really push it. Now we step at the... I already stepped into new territory just opening the case up and getting like a basic view of it. Now I have to go about removing all the stuff from the IR sensor and removing the disk tray without hopefully breaking anything else. And then, once I found the issue, if it's something like a capacitor needs to be replaced, I don't know how to replace that, and I definitely don't know how to get another one. I don't know what it uses. Even if I do, like, how do I get one? Just buy them offline, hope for the best? That's it? I don't know. And plus, that's assuming that nothing's exploded. If the thing burst open and leaked stuff everywhere, That's what happened with the original Xbox, didn't it? Like a capacitor that kept charged of like a clock would over time just leak and destroy the motherboard? What if it's that? Like at that point the thing's just shut. It's done. Nothing. I don't normally mess around with hardware. But if it needs to be done, I might have to learn for the sake of not just like getting this thing working for you guys or the family, and maybe just for preserving this thing in general. Like all of these things, if this is a known state of failure. This has happened before. This could happen eventually to any of these. And with no working emulator, like, anywhere close to it being done, the only way to play these games is on original hardware, because they're kind of proprietary. There's no way to even make it, like, run on anything like Windows. A normal DVD player doesn't even read them properly. So, like... how are we gonna play these games? The games themselves are at least preserved. They've been archived. You just can't play them without official hardware. And there's been so little stuff done with this that we don't even have any concrete evidence of whether or not you can burn your own copies or not and have them work. And there's no homebrew scene. You can tell how niche this thing is. And because none of the games have any sort of meme factor to them, like the Zelda CDI games, or whatever the hell they put on the 3DO, Like, there's not even a meme about them. I can try to force a meme or two with the VeggieTales game. But that's really it. That's not enough to save the console and bring it more into the common eye and be like, I want to help with that. And even then, the Game Boy was definitely a lot smaller of a thing than even the 3DO was, I think. So, I don't know. I don't know. Just not enough people looking at this thing, and the internet's not even gonna give a shit about it, mainly because, like, it's just kind of there. The story itself is kind of interesting, with the way it was marketed, the fact that they're trying to relaunch the damn thing in India. Like, that's fine. It doesn't exactly save it, you know? It's like, the games themselves are basic. They're knockoffs of other things for the most part. There's one licensed game, and it's VeggieTales, and there are better VeggieTales games out there, many of which can be named even better. I'm hoping I can get this thing working, but I've never messed around with this kind of thing. If I can get it to work, it'd be a miracle. And we'd be in for a treat. And by that I mean, you could watch as I fail at playing trivia games, because I am really bad with trivia. Like, I have Trivial Pursuit on my Switch. Not my thing. But, like, you know, more people playing these games, the better, I suppose. You know, it'd be a bit scuffed, I guess, but, you know, what are they gonna do? By nature, things are a bit messy. Some old-ass trivia. I mean, some of it's general, but then, yeah, you have stuff like Rewind, I think, 2005, where it's focused specifically on 20 years ago. Like, uh-oh. Like, the base package that they have, like, that's more general stuff, I think. Even at the time. I might be okay with some of it. So, but yeah, like, a lot of trivia games are, like, Is period pieces the right word? Definitely more like time capsules of the era. You know? But I don't think I have any of those per se. I don't think I have the year editions of Rewind. I think I just have the original. Not... Is Base Rewind the original, or is the year the one's original and they just made like a basic Rewind later? I don't know. Rewind is definitely more of a time capsule, at least, because it does focus on like, current events, I guess, more. It's definitely more, like, history-based. There is a more generic trivia game I have the first volume of because it was a packet. And it has a lot of different subjects on it. But still, like, that's roughly Trivial. That's roughly Trivial Pursuit. And I've played the one on Switch. That's like modern. That's like the modern one. I suck at it. I'm just bad at trivia. Y'all can laugh at me. I really want to play the Sudoku one though. The Sudoku game on there. The aesthetic is great. It's got art like traditional Japanese art. Super calm music. Multiple different gameplay styles that even support multiplayer, which is cool. Like, I think it'd be kind of a chill thing. And plus, it'd be more like a chill, but I'm still thinking. I'm still using my brain. It's Sudoku. It's a puzzle game. It's not chill as in kind of start talking, just zone out until you see something pink. You know? I think I'd use a little bit more of my brain. Put a bit more effort into playing Sudoku. Then there's the Wheel of Fortune and Yahtzee clones. There's a blackjack game, but I don't have that. That could be interesting. And of course, the real thing that everyone wants, the VeggieTales game, which I also don't have, but you know, there's only 13 games for this console. I have like 5 of them. And I'll do my best to track down some of the others. So I want to have a full collection one of these days. Though granted, I will be avoiding the 14th game, Quiz Connect, because it's just a reskin of the pack-in for the main one. The main game wave, just for India. So it's effectively the same game again. So, no thanks. I want all 13 released in North America Game Wave games. And 5 is already a decent start. And again, could be enough for a couple streams. But in order for me to play those, I have to get the thing to work. And I don't know if I can. If I can't, at least I can... I don't know if donate to research is the right way of putting it, but like, maybe use it as some sort of way to look deeper into how the system actually works, even if mine doesn't. It's like we don't have any sort of documentation about the damn thing. It's so obscure. It's not a bootleg thing either. This is an actual, like, it's a thing. It's like an actual, I guess, honest attempt. No response. Oh, Dudunsparce go. What happened? Why did nothing show up there for a bit? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? So yeah. So, plans for the future. One of the games we discussed last week, that'll be streamed eventually. I might make a poll for it. I'm gonna get the Mighty Como before I forget. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on the Game Wave, I guess. See if I can maybe get the thing to work. Or at the very least, diagnose what's really wrong with it. It's kind of scary to actually take apart technology like this, especially when they don't make it anymore. They don't make it, and people don't really know how it works. So... what are you gonna do? So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty stacked up with tasks to do. And I think like, as soon as I'm finished with supper tonight, I'm just gonna go straight to maybe tearing apart the Game Wave a little bit more. I have to bite the bullet at this point. I have to, right? Because, like, I can't fix it if I can't find the problem. And I can't find the problem if I'm not willing to take apart some of the pieces in there. If I'm not willing to remove the disk drives what's under it, then I'm not willing to fix it, you know? I can rule out at least the disk drive. At least. Because if it was the disk drive, it would boot, but not read anything. The thing doesn't really boot. It gets stuck in a boot loop. So it's not the disk drive, I wouldn't think. There's some sort of, like, circuit failure, maybe. Maybe power supply. Someone that Discord I was mentioning said like maybe a capacitor under the disk drive that's messed up because of age and not really being used. So like I'll have to see. A failed capacitor would be pretty rough though. I don't really know how to go about replacing that, especially because no one really knows what the hell to do. You know, like. Vix, it's a long shot. I don't know if you know. What do capacitors even do? Like, are they like a battery of sorts? No, sandwich is done. Do they have any sort of code within them? I wouldn't think so. I would think there's some sort of battery, but like many different kinds of capacitors, and some capacitors only work with certain things, I guess. Like, there's not one, like, it's not like a AA battery where it's like, this AA battery can work in a whole plethora of things. Like, this capacitor is made for this thing and very similar things. It's not like a general thing, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna guess this Dudunsparce is... calm. Gentle, okay. Let's get the move on it. This is number 48. The last one of tonight. That was kind of a bust by comparison, but what are you gonna do? Alright, Dudunsparce is evolving. Two segment. The search does not end here. But the stream does. Temp storage for electricity. Okay. So it is like a battery, but... okay. It definitely is a battery of some sort. It's kind of like a battery pack like you'd use for like your phone when you're out and about. You store power in it, and then you bring power from there later. It's like if the thing's powered off and you still want to send power to something like the clock, that capacitor would use the electricity stored in there to keep the clock powered. You know, like on the Xbox. Until it eventually just gives up and leaks all over the place, and who knows. Okay. That makes sense. Anyway, with that... there we go. A little wave. With that, that's going to be it for stream for tonight. Wish me luck in trying to fix this game wave. I might make a poll to determine what I play next week, assuming there is no direct. If we get a direct next week, I react to that, and then probably, let's face it, one more Dudunsparce stream, because I don't want to start anything at the end of the week. Because that's just how I am. But yeah, wish me luck. I'll see you guys next week for whatever. Fingers crossed, everyone. Fingers crossed. See ya.